That
Okay,
is.
that's it.
Oh, you didn't start it. Did you start it?
Yes, you did.
Yes.
We're live.
Oh, well, that's just the countdown of my implosion.
Allison's like, let's just start this shit. Let's go. And then I did the 30-second countdown just to piss her off.
Piss her off. I started dying laughing in the backstage.
She just like throws her hands in the air. She's like, that's it. I just see like backstage like,
It is such an unnecessary countdown. Like, there should be options. As much as I pay for Stream effing Yard, give me a 10-second option. Give me a 20-second option. Give me a 5-second option. Why is it got to be half a gosh damn minute?
listen, we got to build up the hype, build up the anticipation. I mean, My Weekly Meltdown is like the pivotal entertainment source for all reality TV. So it's important to build up the hype, get our viewers excited. You know, who knows what we're going to talk about here today?
It's probably not going to be Survivor.
Yeah,
probably not. Sorry, not sorry. But gosh,
No,
I've missed y'all. Like whenever we take like a week off, which is not often because we are consistent here at My Weekly.
We're so professional with our schedules.
Yes, so
I had a
professional
date
with our
last
schedules.
That's why we didn't record.
I thought you were not going to bring this up, but
no, that's something else. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. But no, I whenever we take a week off, I'm always like really excited to get back here with you guys. So I'm excited to be reunited. How was y'all's Thanksgiving?
Man, that was last week. Yeah, it was nice.
Right?
I got to go up to my parents' house and have a nice, relaxing, not working couple of days, and that felt really nice.
Allison, how's yours?
Turkey and I don't know. It's just things. I don't know when that's what I mean. You know, it is what it is.
There we have it.
I guess it was tasty. If you're still,
I didn't do anything. I ate with some family and kept my grandson Saturday night and Friday night.
Your nose.
Friday night I went to Target. When did you almost break my nose? That was 2 weeks ago.
Oh, I swear I thought that was like after Thanksgiving.
No, that was before, the Saturday before. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, you can go to the TikTok, the My Weekly Meltdown TikTok and see it. You can hear the sound. And my husband not get up and rush to check on me and ask from his recliner with his feet propped up.
Maybe he was too busy sabotaging your microphone setup here.
What got hit?
Yeah.
He's in trouble. Listen, everybody in the chat. Hello, everybody in the chat. Matt Henning. Tracy says, what? Joseph Boza. We got Joseph Boza, Matt Henning, Joseph Boza, Heather Jean and Joseph Boza, and Kim Matina and Catlin and Matt Henning and Kim Matina and Heather Jean and Thomas Cook and everybody. So yeah, I don't know. I don't get excited about the I don't know. I'm 46. I kind of just whatever.
Yeah, I mean, it takes on a different role.
It
takes on a different role, I'm sure, when you're like a parent. Like I feel like it kind of all falls like it probably feels like more work to you than like a holiday, right?
It's work when you get married and you got places to go, and then your kid gets married and you're worrying about when your kid now has places to go, and then you know, I just take a back seat and go, look, I don't want you and the wife stressing. Go do whatever you want. I'll see you this weekend. It's totally fine. I don't want anybody stressing out over seeing me, because seeing me in general is stress enough.
Yeah.
Let's not.
I'm not looking forward to it next week. Ooh.
I know everyone. Yeah. Let me tell you something. Next week,
those bell bottoms ready.
Y'all, I've got some bell bottoms that are so wide.
How wide are they?
Every time you bring up these bell bottoms, every time you bring up these bell bottoms, I like visually in my mind the fan out gets larger and larger and larger.
Let me just put it to you like this. I got a catwalk. I don't have a pair of shoes that are like high enough for these. So they're like right at the ground. And when I try to do my sachet walk, 9 times out of 10, I'm going to step on the jean and fly off somewhere. So
what you're saying is I'm going to take a video of you doing the catwalk in the middle of Bourbon Street. in
Yeah.
these bell bottoms. But
like the band is playing on Bourbon Street, and you're like trying to dance as you walk through.
yes,
Oh,
Nobody wants to see
I would do that. What do you say? Nobody. I'm right here, Allison.
Hey,
but I'm very excited for New Orleans. I
if
cannot
people
wait.
don't know already, we are getting together well, you guys will be together Monday. I'm coming up Tuesday, and we're going to be in New Orleans for this. What is it? What's it called, Beth?
RHAP Live.
The RHAP Live. We're going to get to watch Survivor in like a movie theater kind of situation.
Yeah,
With
that'll be really cool.
RHA Peoples. I can't
love
talk. And
RHA Peoples, RHA podcasters. I'm trying to come up with what are the other P's we could do. RHA Peeps.
There's going to be, I guess, people there like from Big Brother and Survivor, and it's going to be.
I've heard Corey and America are going to be there.
Nobody cares.
Do you have anything to say to
No,
Corey?
I'm not. And I don't. Corey maybe. Mary, no, I don't give a.
I love them.
No, please, God. And don't do that thing where, oh, we love you, but Allison hates you. Don't do that.
I would never do that.
No,
I've had that done to me before on the playground in like the 3rd grade. And it was terrible.
They said on her podcast, she spoke such shit about you in your diaper.
She was talking such shit on the bus this morning. It was terrible. It was such shit. We had to crack the window. It smells so bad.
One of those big home video cameras being like, Allison, tell us about it. And they had like the wired mic. That's how you got your start.
It was a megaphone.
Talking shit into a wired mic into like the video cameras you had to hold on your shoulder.
It was fun.
So RHAP, they posted like a picture of like all of the alumni, like their faces
lifted restraining order
morphed into like one ugly photo, and like one of the things was like a tattoo of an idol right here, and the only person that has that, to my knowledge, is King George from Australian Survivor. So if King George is there, I'm going to flip a shit, and I'm going to say thank you for being the best casting choice that Survivor has had in like years. Like I love George him. He is Russell Hantz without the problematic behavior. Like he is just like entertainment, a diabolical genius. Like, and if I get to meet him in person, I definitely want a picture with him. So like that's who I'm like hopeful. Like that's my like dream person to like meet at this event. Allison, like really cool. Since you said you weren't like too hyped on meeting America.
Corey. I mean, I don't really have like. I'll probably like I want to see. I want to meet Rob Cesternino. I'll probably cry or get weird. Because he's the reason why I'm doing that. Like he inspired me to do this.
Yeah.
Like I was trying to figure out, and he's always been super kind to me. And I don't even know if I've really ever communicated with him directly or his assistant or whoever the hell it's been. I'd like to meet them. But him and if Cameron is there from Big Brother 25, I don't know if he'll be there. I don't know. I'm just grateful to be invited, and I'm just going to be grateful to be there. And I'll be nice to anybody and everybody, even America. I'm sure look. I'm no shade. She's fine. It's just I'm not look. Not everyone's a fan of me. Okay, there are people who hate me and only watch this show for YouTube. Okay, so I mean, you can watch a show and hate someone on it.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm not everybody's flavor of the month.
You're more than a flavor of the month to me, Allison. You're like a flavor of the year.
No, I'm not. Okay, I'm going to say Taryn Armstrong will be lucky if I introduce myself.
He's not going to be.
Okay, good. Because he has never accepted any of my friend requests.
Allison, he doesn't follow me. Allison, he doesn't even follow me on Twitter, and we play video games together, streamed every weekend.
Beth, I don't care. I'm taking it personal. I'm taking a lot of things personal these days. Can I just vent for a minute? Sure. I've been under cyber attack. I've been in Facebook jail. Not once, but twice in less than 2 weeks. I was out less than a full week. I get thrown in freaking Facebook jail again. I'm freaking paranoid. I'm going through deleting as much old crap. as I possibly can. And it's insane. And, and then I got this platform that we broadcast from sending me an email saying, well, we deleted something that you did about the challenge 2 years ago. And
that is weird.
That was spam and false advertisement. What was I talking about? What could I possibly been advertising?
Do you think it was when you couldn't understand I was saying Little Amber and not Little Ambler? They were like, false. That was not the person's name on the show.
It was the episode where my camera fell, and I was trying to hook it back up, and I was showing you the monitor, and it was a whole bunch of stuff. But I've been under attack. I almost burned my house down. Last night. Okay, I'm glad that's funny, Tyler. But no, seriously, it is funny, kind of. But I mean, we went to eat at Chick-fil-A, which I think Jesus was down the street, and I have a JoJo cam. It's a camera that just follows JoJo when he's in my office, and I wanted to see what JoJo is doing because I've been away from him for 20 minutes, and God forbid I don't know what he's doing for 20 fucking minutes. And so I turned on my office cam, and I saw this big blazing flame shooting out of a candle I forgot to blow out.
Oh my God.
And we were luckily done. We jumped we flew down the street. It's 5 o'clock traffic. I'm holding it in as best I can, but I'm freaking out. Chris is trying not to freak out. I bust through the house, and I blow the candle out. Nothing's on fire. It's fine. Everything is fine. I think it was a faulty candle because I trimmed my wicks religiously, but I got scared. And like, when I tell you guys, I fell to my knees and let out stress. I started bawling and crying because I thought I didn't care about the house. I wasn't worried about the house.
Please.
I wasn't worried about material items. I wasn't worried about anything in this house. But JoJo, Finley, Oliver, and Phoebe, I sat there and said, Chris, I could have killed our babies and took away the thing that we save for our dream house. I said, oh, this is probably covering. We have insurance for the house. And I'm like, well, that's good to know, but not, my baby, my kitty cats. My kitty cats were playing Survivor last night.
Well, none of them had their torches snuffed, so they're still in. You know what's so funny about that cup is that's probably a normal size cup to any other person, but that looks giant just because it's in Allison's hand.
Yeah.
Chaos coordinator.
Oh my God. You would.
I love that.
You would. Oh, yeah. But yeah, no, I'm excited for New Orleans. Cannot wait to show you guys like one of my favorite cities. I'm excited for the RHAP stuff. I'm excited for like a ghost tour with you guys. I'm excited for seeing the real world New Orleans house with Allison. We have some fun stuff planned. So, and I think Kylan, one of our patrons, will be there too. So we'll meet him in person too.
And it probably is probably the Newticles. The Newticles that I'll start fake dog balls. And they're not fake dog, it's fake cat nuts. And they're real. And no, I'm not getting them put on JoJo.
There you go.
The fake cat nuts are real. You heard it here, folks.
He's got big cat nuts. I'm not joking, y'all. I could grab JoJo right now and do like a side of it. Nuts. And his little balls are so big they stick out. And it's like, I like when he's walking, it looks like little bow leg because of his little big balls. And Chris is like, you're obsessed with his balls. And I even was touching his balls the other night. I was like, look at these little balls.
Okay, Allison, I need you to not be admitting on camera live that you're sitting here molesting your cat.
No, I was like, he's got the cutest little tiny little balls.
You gotta, no. That is so strange, Allison.
2 years from now, when this video gets flagged, and we're like, I wonder why.
What was that? Allison's talking about squeezing your cat's balls.
God. So Bruce went home.
Yeah, Bruce went home. Who went home? I don't even know what happened last week. Who left last week?
Jesus.
Kendra went home last week. And the Edgic community was shooketh. We were not expecting Miss Kendra to go home. But so a bummer that happened. But like, man, Bruce going out here, like, he really got like a good swan song too. Like they really gave him like they talked about his like upbringing and like not really fitting in. I know Allison, you said that like really like spoke to you.
I have never had a problem with Bruce. I'm like the goofier, the better. I loved it. I could kind of tell there was something underlying there, but I didn't want to judge or say anything. But when he started talking about being in the system and stuff, I was like, I get it. I get it. Some of the I've never been in the system, but I've had friends that were in the system, and there is kind of an underlying need to be accepted and sometimes to entertain, and you don't have the cues to know when the social cues on certain things. And I'm not talking about everybody, I'm not an expert.
Sure.
But once I heard that, I was like, oh, I get him. And I was like, man, now I want to fight anybody who's mean and talk shit about him.
I will fight anybody who's mean about anybody in this cast, except for the two quitters.
Yeah, Hannah and Sean can suck it. They better not be there.
They may be there.
Those will be the two.
Not them. Sorry, their cousins. Their cousins may be there, but their cousins were also in New York. So just saying, their cousins could be in New Orleans.
Okay, for this episode, I want to start by saying like, I think it's time to put some respect on Julie's name this season. She is so fucking good. Like, and I love her introspection of like, you know, it's a tougher role emotionally to be cast as like the mom of the season, because everybody goes to me to be like this like nurturing like sense of comfort. So they take it more personal when I'm stabbing people in the back, and I'm absorbing all of that, and it makes me feel so terrible. I just love that kind of like, we got a lot of like emotional depth from a lot of different people for different reasons this episode, but like I just want to stop.
Am I wrong for crying a lot this episode?
No, I mean,
no. I feel like bad for Jake. I love Jake. I thought he was great, and I just really, you never know when people are, you know, I get it. Like I kind of felt that, you know, and I hate that.
I felt for Katurah. I felt for
Jake. Oh my God.
We're gonna have to talk a lot about Katurah. I'm sorry. We have multiple things to talk about with her.
Yes. Let me just finish this point on Julie.
Because you're
like she's also been like second in like a majority of these competitions. Like now that Bruce is gone, like I would be so excited if like Julie goes on like an immunity run, and like she is like the mafia boss of the Reba 4, and like people are already talking in confessional about her being this like big like jury threat, and like voting for her in the end. I could totally see a path to victory where the Reba 4 themselves underestimate Julie and her like prowess in this game and what she's done. Like she was able to convince Austin to give her the idol last episode as well. Like she has some agency, and she's like using it really wisely instead of like burning herself out. And like I would be thrilled to have a winner like Julie this season.
And I think the number one thing that you mentioned earlier, which I think is an incredible point to say now in the game in front of the jury and other people who are going to be filling out the jury, is that whole situation about it's worse from me, even though I'm sure that wasn't actually strategic of her. And if it was, brava, because I will praise it. But even if it's not like she didn't think about it strategically, saying that now you had 3 jury members, 2 of which were like Julie, and then by the end of that sentence was like, you know what, she's right. You're telling me that if she says that now, everybody who goes on the jury and before they get mad at Mama Julie, they're going to go, she did kind of point that out. That's a bias I need to check. You know what I mean? So I think this was like such a smart move for her. I 1,000% agree, Henning. Julie is giving huge Tina energy. And I'm here for it. Like I would love, there's not a single person left in this game. I wouldn't be excited to see how they get to the point where they win if they won the season. But I do think like Julie would represent a game that arguably we have not seen since Vesepia and Tina and those early woman winners, I would say.
Yes, absolutely.
I have a question.
Yeah.
I know we haven't given. I'm gonna lose this question if I don't. because I was kind of curious about the same thing.
Yeah.
No idea.
I need those who are listening, I need y'all. This is from Catlin. I need y'all's thought. Katurah getting a letter from her mom. Did Survivor go against her wishes and reach out? She didn't read the letter, right?
I think she did.
Oh, she did?
They gave her the letter, and I think that she read it and then was having the reaction to being like, in the letter, it was her mom saying, "I love you so much," and her saying, reacting to being like, "I'm conflicted because I want to love this, but I also went no contact with her, and this is a conflicting feeling to have here."
And her anxiety, yeah, I agree. Her anxiety she just did not seem the same.
This is a prime example in my head. And so I think all of us agree, if Survivor knew she was no contact, that is the most fucked up thing you could do. And
yeah, it's very bizarre to me. It is fucked up, Beth. I totally agree. It reminds me of so in the real world Brooklyn, there was a contestant. Her name was There was a cast member named Sarah, and her dad she like broke off contact with because he like molested her as a child. We don't know like Katurah's like story with her mom and why she like cut off contact. Not that that's important, but production gave the phone number of the real world house to her father to call her. So it like made like a whole like segment about it, and it was so fucked up, and like you could just see like the trauma like on her face when that happened. And I kind of felt the same way about Katurah. So I would love to know, like, I wonder if Jeff has like talked about this on the official Survivor podcast, because like there needs to be some more context here.
There needs to be, and I absolutely know that if they don't mention anything on the podcast or in the press or anything, they're gonna wait to make it a moment on the finale, and I think that's a huge mistake.
I think Katurah doesn't catch me as the kind of person that's going to announce to everybody that she's taking a break from her mom, that I'm not doing my mom right now. We're not on the same page. I got to take a break and cut her out right now.
Right.
Yeah.
So I just kind of, maybe they weren't completely aware of the situation. I don't know. I don't want to, hi Tim, I don't want to assume the worst or anything, but this is reality TV and, they do messed up stuff. I mean, I could totally see myself on Big Brother winning HOH and getting a letter from my mom. But I mean, I love my mom, but, I want a drawing from Cloud or something.
I think too, where I'm confused is that normally with like Big Brother, you make a list of the people who you want to write you a letter, and I assumed it would be the same for Survivor.
Oh wait, Kim gave us some stuff. I don't know. Multiple Survivor alum have said that production reaches out to one family member who gathered the letters. I think that there's someone in the family. Okay, that makes sense. Thank you.
That makes much more sense. I didn't think it would be a situation because I really don't think it was a situation where production intentionally would do something like this. That's why I was saying if they did, that's fucked up. But I don't see a show that has made a point to talk about sexual, harassment on the show and make, and try to make amends, or to say even if it comes across as like performative of times, like they at least do something about it on like Big Brother. And I would find it hard to believe that the production would intentionally do something like that. And it's unfortunate that Katurah would have to go through that trauma, but you could see,
oh God, I could feel that
for the rest of the episode, how much that affected her. Like all of a sudden she was
like, that's why like during the immunity challenge too, she was
exactly.
Oh my God. I wanted to grab her and hug her. I mean, like, look, I'm not a swimmer either, girl. I doggy paddle my way through everything, life and swimming pools and everything. I'm doggy paddling like crazy. And I mean, but it works. And I feel like, you're fine. But I felt like in that moment having, my mom, and I love my mom and everything, but y'all know, it can get to you mentally and really mess you up in a moment you don't want it to. And I was like, oh my God. And even Jeff in that moment being super sweet was like, and I'm right here. And I'm willing to jump in and mess up my hair and my Botox for the first time ever in the history of this show.
And I think too that, you know, we don't see this, and people have asked this a lot with like the last gasp as well. Like, how far away are the safety swimmers? And multiple alums in production have said they're just off of the camera, even when and then like when they zoom in, normally the swimmers zoom in or like come in a little closer, like towards the challenge. But they also have people who are in scuba outfits underwater that are ready to save people too. So it's not just people above, they're also underwater. And I think this is like, also you have the mental state that Katura was likely in because of the trauma from her mother and having to face all of that. She's conflicted in the game about, you know, should I go after Bruce, even though I think it's a moot point at this point, and almost to be like, I want to have a win of my own in this game at this point, but that's going to probably sacrifice my own thing. She's obviously, like everybody else on the island, malnourished and energy is fading. And you have all of those different kinds of emotions. And I'm sorry, as much as a Thanksgiving dinner sounds amazing to me, that shit would not fuel you for an intense challenge like that. I'd be sitting there having gravy farts as I was like trying to hold myself up.
I would be passed out. Turkey puts me to sleep. All of that stuff, the fixins and all, put me to sleep.
I like.
Why are you gonna put me on a board, Jeff?
You're gonna put me on a board so that I might shit myself and right? Like, come on, meat byproduct is like what you're giving me with gravy. Come on,
want to be a scuba diver? See that shit trickling down the slide. I'd be like, they don't pay me enough for this.
That is nasty.
But I just like, the whole point for me is like, you have so many aspects of like what Katura is likely going through. And I absolutely felt like it wasn't only because of the letter. I think it's all these things, but the letter was like the breaking point. And you just see her like, yeah, I prepared to swim. It's not my favorite thing, but like there was no convincing her that like when she was up there, she wasn't holding on because of the challenge. She was holding on for her life because she thought she was going to die. That's an anxiety attack. And I really, really do. No, don't get me wrong. I love sassy Jeff. I love when Jeff is like, you know, gone after people for complaining or something in challenges or, you know, whatever the case is. But I also love when Jeff can realize like, hey, like, you're here. You're okay. This is not you being like, oh, this sucks and I don't want to do this, because that's where he goes after you. This is like, I think I'm going to die. And we're here to let you know you're not going to die. We've got all these people and such. I really like that.
Beth, I'm so conditioned to Jeff not being appropriate in those moments. Like, I truly thought that he was about to do a serene game changer moment where like, Katura, if you want, you get back on the slope by yourself and you can hold yourself up and we will all root you on. I was like, dear God, please, Jeff, like, do not do this. And so I'm glad that he like, you know, was appropriate this time.
I don't hate Jeff. I actually love Jeff.
I love Jeff.
I love Jeff, but I also love to give him 6 shades of shit because I think he would appreciate it. But here's the thing. Like, I was all, oh, Jeff's being so sweet. Then he's got to open that mouth in tribal council and directly address Julie, which no one has said anything. He doesn't know, there's no backdoor, doesn't know nothing going on. And he's like, you know, it's almost like, do you feel completely safe, Julie? And I'm like, why, Jeff?
Like, that was such an isolated question that like she answered and then they just like moved on from it. Like, I don't know why they showed that.
It is weird. I always wonder, like, what are the I feel like that's a question that would have been left on the chopping block when it comes to like, what do they put in the episode? Because tribal normally lasts like at least an hour. So they're cutting a lot, right? So like, did they do that because they found out, oh, there was going to be a vote for Julie, so let's throw this in here to build up some of the narrative of the episode? I don't know, but it was a moment.
I mean, well, realistically, they can ask every single person that at every single tribal and then just like not use any of it. But like, there was another editing beat that I found really weird. So like when Jeff was talking about the reward, right? And like he finished by being like, and there's like bed sheets and pillows and blankets. And then there was like a weird beat where they like cut to Austin and Drew being like, and then like it was like awkward silence for like 4 seconds that felt like 4 years, and then Jeff's like, and that's it. Like, it was so weird.
We got to address this too.
Okay.
Well, when he said it's like eating scones. And Jake and I, in unison, both said, "What kind of carnivals are you going to, Jeff?"
This to me, okay. My favorite sketch of all time, if anybody's ever heard me talk, is the Gremlins 2 sketch from Key and Peele.
Oh, it's so good. It's so
And
good.
there's a moment where the guy who Jordan Peele, who's playing Star Magic Johnson Jr., who like helped rewrite all of like these like dud sequels in the 80s and such, including Gremlins 2, he comes in and he goes, "Guys, it's going to be like a party with pizza, pineapple, anchovies." And that's what it felt like to me. Just like somebody playing Mad Libs trying to come up with what they think is a good, fun thing, but actually having no idea and being completely out of touch. Like, who's putting pineapple and anchovies together on a pizza? Like, it's that kind of thing, right? So that is exactly what it felt like to me. It's like this is like you're at a game at a carnival.
Look at that, Samuel. Y'all telling me you don't have scones at Look, I got a scone at a carnival, but I don't see people like holding their entire body weight on two tiny little.
No,
pegs.
who's eating scones at carnivals?
Scone in the sweat, in the sliding, and trying not to die in water. That doesn't happen in Memphis. You die and just walking down the street here, but not scones at a carnival.
But who has scones at a carnival?
Do he mean like?
Do you mean like the ice cone, like
snowball or something?
Snowball or oh, I bet you he did.
He meant they were the scone.
Wait, can I ask you guys? Like, this is a very important question. Like, what's your favorite snowball flavor?
Because we're gonna get snowballs in New Orleans, by the way.
Yes. I need to know this.
Probably like a blue raspberry.
Okay, all right. Or do you like marshmallow on your snowball? Yeah, I think that's fucking weird.
I don't like marshmallow.
Like a snow cone?
Yeah.
Kind of like a snow cone.
We've got Jerry's snow cone here, and I can't even remember the last time. I don't know. I don't know what kind of snow cone I like.
You're right. He definitely meant to say snow cone at a carnival, and he said scone. Like he combined it. I guarantee that's what he meant. And then afterwards, he was probably like, "The fuck was I talking about?"
Weird.
Because who the hell's going around being like, "I have this like freshly baked scone at a carnival"?
I'm like, did he short circuit?
A scone is like a nice fancy like pastry.
It's like, a pastry, yeah. Like you would have with, like tea.
If you go back and watch it, because I had to rewind it to make sure I heard what he said. Because I was like, surely he did not just say that dumb shit. Oh, yes, he did. But even after he said it, he laughed like, what the fuck did I just say? I bet y'all are going to air that, aren't you?
I love. But you know what? Kudos to the editors for editing in kind of a moment where Jeff is kind of not with it correctly in a fun way.
I have noticed this season in particular that like they're really editing Jeff to be more like approachable to the cast members. Like, come on, let's talk. You know, like fireside chat. You know what I mean by that? Like, it's weird. I don't know how to feel about it, especially knowing that like so many Survivor alumni have said that like Jeff used to be like cracking the whip at Tribal if like somebody said the wrong thing or like didn't give them like a good enough answer. And I feel like Jeff is now like an armchair therapist type of person. Like I feel like we're in like a Jake therapy session at every single Tribal council. And like I love Jake. Like I love his like growth and his like vulnerability and stuff like that. But like it's just like it is so like therapy focused now at Tribal that like Jeff is trying to like to do for these people.
Speaking
I don't know.
Therapy
it's weird.
It's good. That Jake versus Drew moment was good. Yes, it was. Okay, mobster, thinking this is The Departed.
Departed.
I'm sorry, Drew. Have you ever seen The Departed? Drew, I watched this is
like
the
one of my favorite movies.
Thing. The Departed was on this weekend, and I watched it. It was on like FX or something, so there were commercials, so they cut out all that. Mark Wahlberg in that movie. Oh my god, so fun.
Maybe everybody fuck yourself.
You go fuck. Maybe not.
Maybe not. Maybe go fuck yourself.
But we've got that. I could watch. I'm going to talk about it. Maybe all Jack Nicholson.
Do you think that's why they decided to put the Thanksgiving reward the week after Thanksgiving, because they knew The Departed was going to play on FX this weekend?
They knew that Allison was going to see it and finally have something to attribute to this show about Survivor. Because listen, here's the thing: nobody is saying they're a mobster in The Departed. Nobody's going around doing that kind of stuff. It's just, look, it's about two police officers who are both basically rats trying to rat each other out. So it's a rat eat rat. So
but the mobster is Jack Nicholson.
The mobster is Jack Nicholson. But Jack Nicholson is so funny. Like, I even recorded my TV about me being in Facebook jail, that little thing, that little clip where he says, "Don't laugh, it's not funny, this ain't reality TV." And I was like, that is where I am in life right now, Jack, with all of this shit. I'm posting that right now. There we go. But anyway, I'm like, Drew, have you seen The Departed? And if you have seen it, did you talk during all of it and not pay fucking attention? Because that was a very important movie. That is an all-star cast. Some of the best one-liner I've ever heard. I'm sorry. I'll get Mark Wahlberg interviewing Leonardo DiCaprio's character for the first time, and then I think he interviews Matt Damon first, and then Leonardo, and he's just standing there. I want to be that guy.
Those arms.
Oh my God. I want to be that guy. I just want to be the asshole in the room that can just.
That's good. One of my favorite lines from that movie is when Jack Nicholson walks into, like, I think it's like a diner, or no, it's a bar. What am I thinking? A diner, a bar, and he says like hello to this guy, and he's like, "How's your father?" Or like, "How's your mother?" "She's on her way out. We all are. Act accordingly." That's one of my favorite lines. Anyway, so our Departed movie rewatch should happen at some point. That's fun.
Yeah, I've never watched it, so if we want to watch that together. I don't think I've even heard of this movie.
This movie, towards the end, it's like,
no, don't say anything. Don't say anything.
I saw this in the movie theater.
Same.
And you know what I'm talking about, but I was like,
there are like 6 turns that happen at the end, and everyone is better than the last one. You're like, what the fuck? It's so good. And I watched it in college because it came out in 2006 when I was a first year in college. And my friends and I decided, let's play a drinking game. Every time they say the word fuck, you take a drink. Well, this like holds the record for the amount of before Wolf of Wall Street.
Wait a minute. Goodfellas, though, does this beat Joe Pesci and Goodfellas?
It did.
Okay, because
it held the record until I think like Wolf of Wall Street came out. But it was like, it's like every other word, and within the first half an hour, they've like beaten every movie essentially, and you're like,
trying to watch my favorite part about that movie.
Don't say it. We're gonna.
No. Matt Damon is from Boston.
And so is Mark Wahlberg.
Oh, Ben Affleck does the same effing thing. They're from Boston. You guys have lost your Boston accent, and you're trying to get it back. So you're trying to talk with that Boston accent again, and it sounds terrible to me.
Well, so here's the thing, Allison. There are multiple Boston accents.
Ben Affleck does it more than Matt does.
But they actually do have, there's multiple Boston accents. The one that you're thinking of that Jake talks like is a Southern Boston accent, and that everyone thinks that's what it is. But there is like a more Northern Boston accent that's not as like harsh, and it comes off like they're trying to be Southern. So it is technically.
It's kind of like I'm from Tennessee, and then somebody here, and they think I'm from Mississippi. It's like, no.
You're like, it's a different accent for sure.
No. But yeah, it's a great movie, and I feel like that should be a must watch for
winner
Tyler.
Yeah,
we should watch it.
Right out loud. How have you not seen? I know why you haven't seen it. I know already.
Why?
I don't even want to hear your excuse. You don't watch good movies. It's fine. I also think we need to watch Gremlins too, because that shit is on all the time.
I've never seen that one either. But Thomas Cook asked us to, like, have we watched the Squid Games, the challenge yet, and is it worth watching? I haven't seen it, but I will say, like, I'm scrolling through TikTok, and like every single fucking video is, so I was contestant number 237 on Squid Game, and here was my horrible experience. Like, I feel like it, like, the cast is just chatting so much about it that, like, it's turning me off from, like, wanting to watch it, to be honest with you.
I also, like, what did you think a reality show based off of Squid Games was going to be like? I don't know.
Right.
I'm not to victim blame here, because there's parts of that seem a little much from a production standpoint, but I also, like,
it's just annoying.
It's like someone going on Fear Factor and being like, I was really scared because they put me in a tank with tarantulas.
Could you imagine if somebody went on Fear Factor in like 2001, which, like, God bless, I effing loved that show. Like, early reality TV, so good. But, like, could you imagine if somebody went on Fear Factor and then they were like, I was treated so terribly. I was forced to eat, like, cow testicles. And then
I was pushed out of a plane, of which I was told ahead of time how to parachute, and I had a jumper with me who was holding me.
It was traumatizing, and they refused to pay for my, like, after show experience, like, therapy and stuff like that. Like, give me a break. Like, Beth, you were so right. Like, they knew that, like, it's the Squid Game, you know. And also, like, you know, the Squid Game where they have to, like, jump on the boxes and they either, like, fall through or continue. Apparently they, like, filmed stunt doubles falling through, so, like, they're not even in, like, harm's risk for a lot of these, like, challenges. Like, it is so, like, Netflix produced. It sounds like it just doesn't sound like something I have any interest in watching. I've been rewatching the Hunger Games.
I never even watched.
That's way better.
Oh yeah, exactly. I never even watched the show, so I
going on Survivor, and it's like, if I went on Survivor, like, they didn't feed me, they didn't give me anything. I had to earn Flint so I could boil water to make rice. I had to poop in the ocean, and when I could poop, I had to dig holes to go to the bathroom. I didn't even have toilet paper. I had to sleep on the ground. I had maggots in my sores. I was dying out there.
It's just too much, y'all. Like, you know,
it threw me off the boat, and I had a doggy paddle to land. It's terrible.
I also, the thing that I'm also, like, fascinated by is the amount of, like, fans attacking contestants on the show, being like, you betrayed this person. It's like, first of all, there were like 400 plus people who are playing the game. And what you are seeing is like a 30-second clip between two people. There's probably not much of a narrative to follow when they have to follow 450 fucking people or whatever.
Yeah.
So, like, I don't understand the seriousness of people who watch reality TV. And we are people who are serious about watching reality TV, but also don't give this much of a shit.
Beth,
like people
that is
do.
So fucking true. Like, can we all get off our, like, we don't understand as, like, reality TV super fans, like, how small our bubble is and how much, like, I tweeted, like, last week, which is, like, I know it's, like, hypocritical because of me and the Tory anti-vax stuff that happened a few years ago, but, like, I tweeted that, like, people should not be, like, looking to these reality TV people as, like, any type of, like, moral compass for how you should behave. So when somebody makes their whole internet personality, like, can you believe what this person did or this person said or this person hung out with? I'm like, first of all, like, they are not, like, role models for anybody. Second of all, like, they are just, like, regular ass people. Third of all, like, the amount of people that are following this person, like, makes, like, no impact and moves the needle no way. So, like, just don't pay these people any mind if they, like, bring you so much, like, negative attention. It just, like, drives me crazy.
And I think that if you...
Sorry.
No, I'm here with you because I think that
it's fucking weird.
You have to watch people, and then if you're upset with it, talk to the people in your group and talk about why it's upsetting so that you and your group don't perpetuate the same things. Don't think you're going to change someone who doesn't know you by... like, that's not to say we shouldn't be holding people accountable. I'm putting that out there, like, obviously.
Sure.
But like, when people come off the show, they're not on television anymore. The only reason why they continue to get any kind of validation is because people pay attention to them being dumb or whatever. Just to your exact point, cut it. Like, the moment Big Brother was over, I immediately silenced BB25 notifications because I couldn't care less what these people are doing after.
Oh
like
my God.
if I
Bowie
run into
Jane
them and
keeps
I say
making
hello,
TikToks here in New York City, and I like,
Really?
so,
She visited
been
Jack
nice.
apparently.
So, I mean, we'll probably see people from BB25. I'll be happy to be like, oh my God, so much fun to watch you on the show, whatever.
No,
Blah, blah,
it
blah. But like, I'm not going to be like, oh my God, so Corey in America. Like, do you think
Yeah.
they're going to get married someday? Tell
Yeah,
me about it. Like, I'm like, oh my God, calm down.
and
You talk to Jack.
Can I
and
say
I can
something
tell
that-
these are all people that sorry, Allison. I can tell these are all people that are like new to the reality TV world. You know what I mean? Like it's people that have like not been around the block like a few years like we have. That it just like it doesn't matter.
Yes and
Like,
no.
your
I
life
think
will
these
go
are people
on.
who they joined probably around the time of the pandemic. So not new like now new, but like new
I would
like
still consider that
2020.
new. Yeah,
But
yeah.
like new like 2020 because I think we saw it in the way that we manifested like online reality games and such. All of a sudden it was just like that became real life for everybody, and how you are in a game is exactly how you are in real life, and therefore blah blah, blah. And that kind of mentality was like really, we saw that change throughout the
Yeah.
pandemic, and now you apply that to reality TV and people want to be reality villains or people who keep it real or whatever, the blah, 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 all that kind of stuff, and then they realize, oh, there's drama that comes with that, but now I can treat other people like that, and it's just so weird. I don't get it. My role model is Chicken Morris from China.
Who's that?
I love that, Thomas.
Who's Chicken
He
Morris?
was the first boot of Survivor China, and he went damn on his way out.
Damn!
It was very like what's his name from BBOTT? The fuck y'all cornbread.
Oh,
Cornbread. Yeah.
Cornbread.
Basically
I was
the
just
same
about to say, it's
person.
my hero. Cornbread got voted as a fuck y'all. Okay.
So it was great. So he's sitting there like this. He's kind of like leaning forward, and he does the last one. He goes, "Damn!" Out of nowhere, and just
And it scares everybody in the tribal. They like,
because it was so quiet, and he just goes, "Damn!"
good
Oh,
lord.
Chicken. I hope he's okay.
What were you gonna say, Allison? Sorry.
No,
I interrupted you.
it's like everything y'all are saying is how I feel, and I don't even care. I'm 46. I don't give a fuck. The Taylor Swift fans having a field day with Travis Kelce and
Agreed.
just digging into his every effing thing. She likes tight ends. Like, why do we have to do a big thingy about that? He made the comment. Like, it just, yeah, she likes tight ends. He likes tight ends too, I'm sure, on her. But like, we got to hear about this all damn day. It is constant. I think Travis Kelce is a very good-looking man. I mean, I get it. I love that
I don't.
commercial. 2 things at once. So I'll give you 2 things at once. But anyway,
Listen, I'm one of
I
those
just
problematic Swifties that like thinks that she had a relationship with Carly Kloss. But I do think that her and Travis Kelce, whatever the fuck.
Kelsey.
Kelce.
I do think that they are a real item.
I do
like
too,
it
but
feels genuine.
how do you go? Okay, this is the problem I have.
Here we go.
How do you go from being in a relationship with British actor Joel Alwyn for like 6 whatever years, where you don't talk about? That's I like Taylor's music. Like, don't get me wrong, but I'm not into the rubbing my nose in your relationship shit. I can't deal with it. Like I'm just curious how how his teammates feel about it. Like, I don't.
They're happy because they're making a lot more money.
Mhm.
It could be. I don't know.
No, like seriously, the merchandise for their team has gone up.
Oh
like,
my God.
unbelievable.
I mean, that's why
And
like
tickets are
ESPN
getting
is like
sold out. It's like
right, exactly. Like that's why ESPN like cuts to her like every time she's there, because they know it like boosts like ratings, and then like the players get more money because like more money from advertisers and stuff. It all just comes back to money. They're using Taylor Swift as like an exploit to like pump up the numbers.
Taylor Swift's the best thing to happen to the NFL since like name a famous person or famous quarterback, like I don't know, like Tom Brady or something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, it just seems like a crazy obsession, and like I don't know. I don't know.
Kim
I don't know.
Mattina makes a really good point. Personally, I think people are more obsessed than they used to be, and they think they actually know people.
They have
Yeah.
more access.
It's called parasocial relationships, and I think that a lot of people, even like sometimes with us or something, and I don't mean this in a mean way, but like, you know, they watch our show and they're very nice and they interact with us on Twitter and such, and then it's like, oh, we're like, you know, like you might think that you know a lot more about us than what we put out there. And that's, I'm not trying to compare myself to like Taylor Swift or anything, but it's a very real thing where there's this blurred line between like, okay, I know so much about this person and they don't know who I am maybe, but like I feel like I know them. I used to be like that with like the entirety of the Harry Potter cast growing up. Oh my gosh, all those actors that I was growing up with. I was like, we're all best friends. Like they don't know it, but we're best friends. Like I used to feel like that.
That's me cast.
That is not surprising to anybody, Tyler.
I knew everything there is to know about New Kids on the Block and Debbie frickin' Gibson. I knew what they like, what they didn't like, all of it. It was insane. I mean, and I didn't even have internets back then. I'm talking about 88, 89, 90. I mean, this was back in the day when I had to get my Bop magazine, and then every once in a while you get the big bopper that was nothing but a poster edition. And God, if they ever put Debbie Gibson on the backside of New Kids on the Block, I didn't know which one to put on the wall.
Tyler, did you hang up posters in your room like that?
What's that?
Did you put posters up in your room of like either from magazines or like? Well, this is what I want to figure out where, because I know I'm in between you two age wise, so I'm trying to figure out if this is like a generational thing.
Y'all go ahead. I'm gonna pull up a picture.
What posters did I have in my room? This is a great question. I know I had a Spice Girls poster.
Okay,
I'm a big Spice Girls person. That's probably when
Girl power.
That's probably when my parents should have known.
When you came out and you were like singing Mama.
I fucking love the Spice Girls. Like, they're so good.
They're so good. I learned about girl power when I was 9.
Yes. Like they are so
they were so influential in my generation.
Yes. Gosh, what else did I have? Okay, so my first concert was, I was a big you've probably never heard of them, but Jump 5. They were on like,
I remember Jump 5. Are you kidding me?
Jump 5. So I was in their like VIP fan club. They were my first concert. Like I still listen to Jump 5's music to this day. Like I love them. They're like, so I had like a lot of like Jump 5 posters. I actually won a contest on Radio Disney. So they sent me like all of these like posters and like a CD player and stuff. I was like big into like Radio Disney, so like anything that was like playing on the radio waves like at that time, I had like posters up and everything. But I would say like specifically like Jump 5 was probably like my like.
That was me with like Dream Street. I don't know if anybody ever heard about that band. It was what Jesse McCartney was in before he became a solo artist. And
I need to try to make this picture bigger.
I loved them so much. I was like the exact demographic they were going for. They were like 12-year-old girl who's like into boy bands but needs something a little younger, like perfect, like her own age, and not like members of NSYNC who are like actual young adults while she's 12. That to me was so special. And then I went to Toronto on a family vacation and stayed at a hotel, and my favorite member of that band was there with his parents. And I was like, oh my God, Mom.
Is that how you sounded? When
my God. Yeah.
I will say though, and like Allison, I'm sure you can relate to this. Like my first experience with MTV, like totally changed the music that I listened to. And so like my introduction to MTV and like reality TV was me watching The Gauntlet 2, The Challenge. That was my first, and then The Real World Austin. But like after watching those two shows, and I felt like such like a grown up, like such an adult for watching these like adult people doing like adult things, like
that's how I felt. That's how I felt.
Yeah, it was like scandalous for like a middle schooler, right? And then like I started watching like music videos on MTV, and that's when I really got into like Green Day and like Fall Out Boy and like Gwen Stefani and
Gwen
who else?
Stefani.
Hey,
All
that
right, are
record
y'all
is
ready?
so good.
Y'all ready to see something?
I'm ready.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
And then we can update our draft.
And then I want to tell the
my
story.
God.
Okay, so this is me in the fall of 1989. Just you asked me if I put frickin', look, I even have a black and white cat. There's always a cat in the, look at this. I got New Kids on the Block on my wall. New Kids on the Block.
Wait, where is the cat's head is my first question.
She's laying on her side and her head is kind of turned. So
I can see.
Yeah,
I can see,
that's my Princess Leia. I had her from 1981 till 1997.
Wow, this is so cool.
But look, yeah, I've got all these original, like you see on the window that black kitty cat missing a foot?
Yep.
I just want to foreshadow for a second. I was in Marshall's with my mom, and she said she would buy me something, and I purposely bought this disabled stuffed animal black kitten because it was missing a foot, and I was afraid no one would ever buy her, and I wanted to take her home. And so that cat, how fucking foreshadowing is that?
That is
crazy.
That's spooky.
Don't ask me what my other stuffed animals are doing in the floor next to my bed because I don't know. But that's a
1989.
That's a purple fuzzy dice hanging from my lamp and a 110 hot pink camera with all my Debbie Gibson who goes on about. That's Jordan.
This is like one of my favorite things you've ever shared on the show.
This is
I
so
love
cool.
Dissecting this picture. This is very, very
cool. I got more where this came from. But anyway, that's just fun.
I was 1.
I was not alive.
1989, you were 1?
I was 1.
I was 12.
I was
Tyler, nobody cares.
-2.
Nobody cares.
You were, half of you was in your mom and the other half was not created.
You were swimming around in your dad's balls.
No, probably not at this point.
Yeah, that's true. All right, well, let's update our drafts and we'll
back to Survivor.
No, and then I have to tell you all about my dream that we're turning into a movie.
Okay, yeah. So
show the draft first.
So here we go. So Matt lost Bruce and podcasters lost Kendra. So
I think Liza and podcasters. I think we have the final 4.
Kim was getting married in 1989. Kim Matina.
It's a good year.
And then here is the other draft. So Allison, you lost your first 2 back to back. It was about time.
Oh, shush. At least I have one more than you do.
Listen, I think I have the winner, though.
I think I have the winner.
I think you do have the winner. I agree with Tyler. I think Dee's the winner this season.
I think Emily's the winner. I'm going to say it.
If Emily's the winner, I will be a very happy.
I would be happy. Yeah.
If I win, I'm going to give the win to JoJo because that was the night I rescued JoJo.
That's true. He manifested this team for you.
What a foreshadowing.
Man.
Thank you. All right, Beth, tell us about your dream, and then we'll piece it out of you.
I was just going to tell Tyler and Allison about my dream, and then Tyler said, no, you just save it for the show because I addressed it like this. I had a nap this afternoon. And during my nap, I had like a legitimate nightmare that made me wake up like hyperventilating and crying. And so like that like happens to me occasionally. And like it takes me a while to wind down from it. So like I messaged them like a half an hour later when I'd like was kind of woken up and I was talking about it. But I really do think if this is not already a movie, it should be. So if it is a movie, then like whatever.
Oh no.
So I had a dream.
I won't.
That's why I said that.
I had a dream that I was like on a date and there was so trigger warning here too, there's gonna be violence and such. So there was a mass shooting that happened like in the restaurant that we were at, and I was like standing behind the gunman and like tackled him and he shot me, and I kind of literally it like faded out, came back, and I was like in a hospital, and then like had like this whole trajectory thing that happened where like it kind of like cut to the future or whatever, and it was like fragments of like a life that I was having, where like that guy and me were like now in the future, like married or whatever. Like it was like all that stuff.
The guy that shot you?
No. And so this is like when I'm in the hospital recovering from being shot. And then like I see like it's like fragments of like the future or whatever.
Okay.
But then do you guys ever have this where like your dream shifts, but it also kind of references your last dream? And so like that's what happened. And I don't really remember how the shift happened, but it eventually happened that I was back in a hospital somehow, and they were like, stop walking, you have to go back to your bed. And I couldn't understand what they were talking about. And then I found out that like that those fragments weren't real, and that I was recovering from in the hospital, and I'd been like in a coma or something like that. And I just like, people were trying to convince me that I was like going insane. And like, I was like, no, I had a whole life. And they're like, no, you didn't. And like, so I was like in my own brain, like in my dreams, calling myself crazy. And like, it was just really, really, really frightening, and it unhinged. And I like literally I had like no energy. I didn't know how to express it. And like, I woke up just like violently crying about it.
Weird.
But I was sat back and I was like, that sounds like a Stephen King, like psychological thriller kind of thing. Yeah. But it was wild. I woke up and was like,
I have to go with Henning on this one. That sounds like an episode of Lost.
It does sound like an episode of Lost. I watched the season 4 finale a week ago.
You are only on season freaking 4. How far in this wormhole have I got to go before I could say anything?
Well, there's only 2 more seasons.
I'm curious if you're gonna like the 5th season, because like a lot of people say it's their favorite, but I'm not crazy about it.
I think Dylan says he really likes the 5th season. I think the 4th season's his favorite, but the 5th season he really likes, and then he didn't really care for the 6th season.
Were you in it? Kim wanted to know, sounds like you're in an episode of Grey's Anatomy. Were you Seattle Grace?
Yeah, it was really weird. Like all these doctors who were sleeping with each other kept like talking to me over my body about their personal drama. It was really weird.
Yeah, I have nightmares.
Well, yeah, this was not a nice dream. This was,
but when I talk about them, it's like just like, this is not a nightmare. It's a normal dream. It's just what you were dreaming about. You consider a nightmare. It's like you're like permanently attached to your mother for the rest of your life or something, and you think that's a nightmare. No, it's not. I'm like, well, yes, it is.
I have very visceral dreams, and I remember them, or I'll be like doing stuff and I'll have flashes back to the dream like throughout the day. And so like they like really affect my mood. So I watched and I don't know, I think part of this was sparked because I was on a date last night. And so I feel like my subconscious, when I took a nap this afternoon, was kind of like, you were on a date, but then like, here's some horrible violence. And I was like, what the fuck? But what was interesting is like, I really do think like that state, when I watched the Survivor episode before tonight, I was like, like crying for Katura, crying for Jake, and crying for Mama Jay. I was just like, crying.
You had a lot going on.
Yeah, I survived a shooting twice apparently in one dream, but I don't know if any of them were.
That's scary. Oh God,
isn't that so weird? I don't like it.
Ain't that America?
I've got a story, but I have to look up something real quick because I can't remember the name.
So has that been made into a movie? Because if not, we're writing it.
It doesn't sound like anything other than a TV, like a,
Comment on this video and like the video and subscribe to my weekly meltdown if you want to see that be written into a movie, and if you would pay money, because I'll do it then.
All right. Two things I want to give a shout out to, and then we'll head on out of here. Electronic hand warmers are the best thing ever.
What the fuck are you talking about? What?
Like instead of like the little like hand warmer like
hot
baggy
hands
thingies, you just charge these by USB-C, and I keep them in my pockets. And I've been shooting a lot of proposals outside, and it's fucking cold in New York City, and these have been a lifesaver. But also another big quality of life improvement that I would recommend is getting an ice maker. It sits like on our counter, and so instead of like having like the So you have to like fill the water with the trees. And,
Hold
like,
on a second. Whoa, hold on, Martha
What kind of
Stewart.
fucking QVC?
Dude, what the fuck is happening? Right?
I'm
You
telling
just
you,
said
it's
I
so
recommend
good.
everybody get an ice maker like they
Yes.
haven't been around for years in refrigerators.
Well,
Like,
yeah, but it's one of those things that's like,
have
well,
nerves of something brand new. Y'all got to get an ice maker. Okay, boomer.
listen, if you have an ice maker on your fridge in New York City, you are in the top 1%. Okay, we live a little rough here, you know, a little differently.
We live a little. It's an understatement.
It's true.
It's so true.
It's true. Like, well, like, my fridge
Ice
doesn't
makers
have,
are not really a thing in New York City.
Are you
Yeah.
kidding me?
Beth's
Well,
fridge doesn't have one either.
The in the fridge ones, not the one that in the freezer ones can be. Those are ones typically they either come with the fridge or you can like buy a unit. But like the kind that are like on the door, that is not.
Yeah, so we
normal
just
here.
have a little appliance like on our counter that you just pour water into, and it makes like a nice like whole like thing of like nice like almost like Chick-fil-A or Sonic kind of like ice cubes that are like smaller.
Those are the
and, like,
best.
It's been a quality of life.
The way you
improvement.
said it though is just so. I just discovered something. I invented ice.
Listen,
Have y'all ever heard of ice?
it's been a big deal here on the Upper East Side. So
I'm just dying laughing that it was like, okay, guys, and 2 more things before we end the show. Here's 2 items to buy while you think.
well, no,
about
I'm just
what
like
to get
like
your
hand
loved
warmers.
ones for Christmas.
Yeah, if you need a good white elephant gift, electronic hand warmers, they are very good.
Let me
And it
grab
comes in a
something
pair.
off my desk. This is a fly swatter. It is.
Are you bringing the fly swatter to New
in
Orleans?
2005. It's been around a while, and I like to smack the shit out of people with it. And it's fun. Cat likes it.
This is a
Grandson likes it.
coaster that these 2 made for me.
Yeah, I made you a coaster. This is a pen. Have you guys ever used a pen? It's like a pencil, but it has ink in it.
You
It
Look at
retracts.
yep.
It fucking retracts.
So
And it's got a stylus. Have you
poor
ever had a
Tyler.
pen with a stylus on the end? Oh my God. Look, guys, watch. Watch this. You watch it? Oh my God.
But it still sends green bubbles. Oh, look at that picture of Cloud.
I know, it's so cute.
He's a cute little butthole. Look at him.
What
No,
does
he
Zoe
doesn't.
do?
He doesn't have a cute butthole. He's a cute butthole.
What?
You need to literally stop talking about children and animals' buttholes and balls and such, because this is why you were being put in social media jail.
Zoe is a homemaker
Okay.
currently and is working on my second grandbaby that will be here in February.
Working on?
Okay,
She's
guys,
growing
thank you
a
so much
child
for
in her body.
listening to our
That's
podcast.
what happens, Tyler. I know you're not used to that.
I know, but like it sounds like she's like manufacturing it.
She's like an elf and she's making a little.
Tyler, don't you dare. You just QVC'd the show. I got these
QVC.
hand warmers.
That's true.
What is that? Is that a phone? You have a phone in your house? You don't have to go to a payphone? You get to have a phone in your house? Is this new? When did this start? Is that a TV behind you? Is it in color?
Listen, the
Is
next
that
time
a color TV behind you, Tyler?
well, we're actually replacing the TV. So looking forward to that. But
You are
the
so
next time I have an item to
future.
recommend to you, Allison, I'm just gonna zip it.
Calling
And I'm
with-
gonna text Beth in our super secret group chat
Yeah.
about it.
Like you
Also,
don't do that
text
all-
Beth because she'll buy that TV off of you.
Anyway.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Are you sure? I don't think you want it. It's kind of terrible.
Is that a real tree?
I want to mount one on the TV
Yeah.
in my room, or like in my room, and just have something in there that doesn't have to be great.
Okay, we'll talk.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess.
Tyler,
Yes.
you have electricity in your house?
All right, time to wrap up. I'm putting you back in jail.
You don't. How does that work?
Allison, I'm gonna get you back in New Orleans. Just you wait.
Is that a real tree or a fake tree? They have fake trees?
It's a fake tree.
Roll the 30-second countdown.
All right, bye guys. Well, I don't know if we'll be back next week because we'll be in NOLA, but yeah, get an ice maker. We'll see you guys when we see you. We love you. Thank you. And that's a dog.
What's happening right now?
All right, goodbye.
You have dog toys?